know what? I got to tell you this one last one. I promise you I'm done. I was invited to speak at a conference for 18,000 students in Venezuela. It was a bullfight arena. And I was with these really famous Latin singers. I mean, super famous. I mean, they had entourages of security, millions of followers on social media, and there's like me at this event. I'm thinking, what in the world am I doing here? Like, maybe because it was at a bullfighting arena, maybe they thought I was the bull. I mean, I have no idea, you know. So I'm like backstage, about to go up on stage. And so I'm backstage and I have to go use the toilet. So I walk into the restroom and I saw the doors open. So I walk over and I close the door. And I went to go use the restroom and I hear my name being announced on the stage. Let's get a big hand of John. I mean, it's all in Spanish, but I know what they're saying. But I'm in the bathroom. So I run over to the door. I go to grab the handle of the door. There is no handle. I am locked in this bathroom. Concrete walls, metal door. So I'm banging, yelling for help. You know, help, help. Well, with 18,000 people cheering in this auditorium, the band playing music, and I didn't realize, no one actually told me, I guess they forgot, but they had a big introduction planned for me. I was supposed to be running out on the stage and they were shooting fireworks up in the air at the same time. So the fireworks are going out, I'm just not coming out. And so with the fireworks going off, the band playing, the people cheering, no one can hear me banging on this metal door. So I'm standing thinking, okay, what in the world am I gonna do? And I'm looking at the door, I go, it's metal. Maybe I could bend it. Now, I gotta say this. This is a true story. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not making it up. It's actually in a book, my book. But but the door wasn't very thick. It was kind of thin, so I don't want to sound like bigger. I'm stronger than I am. And so I got my foot on the wall. I got my fingers in the top of the door, and I start bending the door down. And I start yelling for help. Help! Help! Well, no one's coming. And I realized they don't speak English. They speak Spanish. I don't know many words in Spanish. So as I'm standing there thinking, I have ruined my career in this country, this promoter is never going to use me again, I'm standing there thinking, what in the world am I going to do? And then I had a memory from a long time ago, like a flashback. I remember when my daughter was really little. Every morning she would come downstairs, she would turn on the television. She would watch a cartoon. It taught Spanish to children. I don't know if they have it in Singapore, but it's called Dora the Explorer. And when Dora was in trouble, she would say a word in Spanish. It was something like, ayúdame, like help me. I need some help. I need a rescue bag, you know. Swipe or no swipe. I mean, something, you know. So I decided to yell this word out in Spanish. So I put my face in the opening of the door I had destroyed, and I start yelling this word out in Spanish. I'm all, ayúdame! 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 For 10 minutes I did that. Finally someone opened the door, I ran, I took the stage, and I had to tell 18,000 people I was locked in the bathroom. This is my point to you this afternoon. And I'm not going to be long, but I really want you to hear this, because I know you've retained a lot of information today. But this is where I really feel in my heart. Just because I make a mistake, it doesn't mean I am a mistake. Just because I have failed at something, it doesn't mean I'm a failure. Now hear me. No matter if you've been here for 2 months or you've been here for a lot of years, you're not going to do everything perfectly in life. But you got to remember, you're not a mistake and you're not a failure. And a lot of times in life, things haven't gone as planned, or things don't work out, or we hit a bump in the road, and we just constantly look at the mistakes that have happened in our lives. It's like the old illustration. You're driving down the road, you have the windscreen, you have the rearview mirror. You don't drive by looking in the rearview mirror, you look at the windscreen. And at times you look into the rearview mirror to see what happened behind you. See, we gotta learn from the past, but we can't let the past dictate our future. You don't want to be past possessed. You always want to be forward focused. We learn from it. Some of you in this room have been told some negative things in your life. But you've got to remember that's in the past. We've got to keep looking forward. But things happen. Things don't go as planned. We make a call to a client, or we try to get a new sale, or we're trying to get new leads, and they don't work out. And we constantly look at the failures instead of looking to the future. It's like the old story about the man who ran the circus and he trained baby elephants. It's a legendary story. This man, the circus master, he took the pole and he put it in the ground and he chained it back to a baby elephant. And the baby elephant would pull on the chain and pull on the chain and pull on the chain. But the baby elephant could never break the chain. As hard as he pulled, he could never break the chain. With the elephant being to grow, he was huge, he was gigantic. Guess what happened? He stopped pulling. He wasn't bound by a chain anymore. He was bound by a picture in his mind that says, I can't. He was strong enough. He was big enough. He had all the ability in the world. He just gave up. This is what I feel in my heart as I prepared for this talk today. This is what I feel in my heart. I don't know if it's the coffee I had or what I feel, but this is what I feel for you today. Is this. There's some people in this room, you've stopped pulling. You've looked at your stats for halfway through the year thinking, I'm not going to be able to do MRT, MDRT. Sorry, I speak for a living. But, I'm not going to be able to do this. I'm not going to achieve my goals. You just give up. Some people in this room, you've given up in a relationship. You stop pulling. Maybe it's with a student or a child that's in your life, or it's with a relationship with your parents. I don't know. But listen to me. I have come here this afternoon to your conference to say this to you. You got to keep pulling. Don't give up. See, as I wrap up my time, this first obstacle is the fear of failure. Second is the fear of people. Now, this is personally something I deal with. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to take my mask off. I'm going to be a little vulnerable. I am the classic people pleaser. I'm the type of guy, I keep my schedule really busy because I'm afraid to say no to people. Because I'm afraid if I say no, they're not going to like me. And the more I travel, the more I do this, you know I've realized people are going to like me. I don't know why. I'm a great guy, according to my mom. But I can't always live my life at other people's opinion. There's a really famous baseball player in America. He's a good friend. I'm not going to say his name. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame coming up here. He said this. Now, when they have these games, 50-something or more people, 1,000 people will come and watch. He said, if I hit a home run when the ball goes over the fence, this whole stadium will cheer for me. But if I go out and I miss the ball 3 times, strike out, have to go sit down, the people who just cheer for me, you know what they'll do? They're going to boo me. And it hit me that day. I can't always listen to the crowd. If I'm going to be at the mercy of the crowd, one day they're going to like me, the next day they won't. I'm going to live my life on an emotional roller coaster. You don't want to give in to the fear of people. You want to believe in people. You want the best for people. That's what you do. But you can't give in to the fear of people. Can I say this quickly today to you also? Be careful of the people you allow into your life. Be careful of the people who are always criticizing or negative, talking bad about the company or other people. I tell young people, if you're around people all the time who are always talking bad about someone else, when you're not around, they're talking bad about you. They're a bunch of backbiters. See, John, what's a backbiter? A backbiter is a backstabber who's temporarily misplaced their knife. Be careful of the people who are always negative, always talking bad about someone else. You got to be careful of the people you allow into your life. I have told students for a lot of years, and I've told a lot of corporations this. You show me your friends, I'll show you your future. You want to go to the top of the table? You want to make the best of your life? You want to make the best of this company? Find someone who's doing it and hang around them. In your career, you're going to have people who are going to criticize you. I know that. It's like one time I was speaking at a large event, and a lady walked up to me at the end. She said, I don't like the way you're doing it. Breaking stuff, making a mess. I said, man, in all due respect, how are you doing it? And she goes, I'm not doing it. I said, I like the way I'm doing it better than the way you're not doing it. But quickly, is the fear of failure is the first option. The fear of people. But lastly, this afternoon, I close with this. The last obstacle is the fear of the future. People don't try, or they don't go for their dreams and goals. They don't go for a position because they don't know what the future holds. That fear grips them. They don't know what's going to happen. But along the way in your career, no matter where you're at, you might be a seasoned person, you might be a rookie. But I want to tell you today, you're going to get bumped off course throughout your career. But the key here is readjusting. I was sitting on an airplane a while back, and I sat next to a captain who flew a 777 Boeing airplane, and his routing was from LA to London. And that was, he flew all the time. And I turned to him and go, oh, that's a pretty good gig. You take off the plane, set automatic pilot, drink some coffee, land in London. He goes, well, John, it's a little more work than that. He goes, throughout the journey, even though you're an automatic pilot, wind, rain, a cloud, storms can pop up, and they can push you 1 degree off course. And I go, well, 1 degree doesn't sound like that's that big of a deal. He goes, if you stay 1 degree off your course, by the time you get to your destination, you can be up to hundreds to 1,000 miles away from your destination, just staying 1 degree off course. He goes, even though you're an automatic pilot, we're constantly monitoring the buttons and all the different things they have to do to readjust the airplane. Now hear me today. It's not getting knocked off course is the problem. It's when you don't readjust. We're over halfway through this year. Maybe this hasn't been your strongest year yet, but today's a day where we readjust. You can end this year incredibly strong. You don't have to give in to the fear of the future. You can say, well, there's next year. No, you still got this year. And you got to remember, deep down inside, not to be so critical of yourselves. I was speaking to a team, and it's a real famous team in America, and before they went onto the field, I said the biggest critic, well, they did lose that day, so don't have me speak to your team, but before I said this, the biggest critic you ever have in your life, it's not a teammate, it's not the media, it's not a coach or your family, it's the person who lives inside of here. We can be so critical of the way we talk to ourselves. We have to be careful of that. I was speaking at a primary school in America, and there was 500 students sitting on the ground that day. And halfway through my assembly, I stopped and I turned to the students. And I said, don't ever believe a lie when someone tells you you're not special. Halfway down on the right-hand side was a 10-year-old boy. He jumped to his feet in the middle of the program, and he starts yelling at the top of his voice. He had Down syndrome. He goes, I'm special. I'm special. I'm special. I'm special. He starts tapping the students around him going, hey, I'm special. I'm special. Well, the teacher's seeing he's distracting the program. She's like, sit down, sit down. He turned to the teacher and goes, but I'm special. I finished the assembly that day. I got done. And the principal comes up on the stage and wraps up the time. I stepped off the stage. I walked down the side of the auditorium. I got to where that boy was at. I got down on my knee. And I took my wristband out of my pocket I had made for me, like this one. I slipped it onto his wrist. I'll never forget. He looks at me. He goes, I'm special. I said, yes, you are. As I wrap up my time with you today, my message to you is from the mouth of a 10-year-old boy in Moon Township, Pennsylvania. And that is, you're special. You gotta remember that. I tell stories in schools a lot. And there's a story I tell a lot of students about a little boy who couldn't talk. No one thought he was special because he just mumbled words. So he's like 6 years old, sitting at his desk in school. A teacher walks in, she picks up the boy, and she puts him in a room with other students who have special needs. Everybody is horrible to that boy. He's all alone, never got to play in a game. When this boy would eat his lunch at school, the other students, they throw garbage at him. He would come home after school hoping things would be better, but his parents, they were always fighting. And they went through a really bad divorce.